Good afternoon, all, and I must thank the organizers for considering me for this event. Um, as a researcher and a biologist, I had have several opportunities to give talks in conferences, meetings, and training programs. Since I am associated with IUCN and CMS, there also I used to visit many of these project sites and do that, but very rarely such occasions happen where I'll have to market my job that, oh, this is a green job, good job, best job, you must join and all this. But I think there is time, like, as you know, 70% of area means how much of marine area, how much of sea areas, coastal also comes under marine, and how less research has been done. You just look at terrestrial, compare terrestrial with marine, and just think of invertebrates, terrestrial invertebrates, marine invertebrates. Lots of things to be done. So there is opportunity to work in marine and coastal ecosystem, and marine and coastal ecosystem has solution to climate change and global warming to a large extent. I don't belittle terrestrial part of it, but marine has its importance. So it is I'm very happy that I'm going to talk to some young people, not some, there's a large gathering. I have never spoken to such a big gathering in one go, but in fact many people do not take pride on what they do. But I was so happy to listen to Dr. Sonali, because I have got many IFS officer and I have taken help of many IFS officers in Andamans, especially in Andamans, and they are so helpful. I have means I can means I know them by name, like going with them to field. They go with me to field. I remember one Dr. Ajay Saxena. He was in Wildlife Institute of India later for sea snake, Jairaj, and all these. So many memorable things, and the passion I have seen in Indian forest officers. And then Manisha's Green Economy talk, those panelists. So I'm so happy that they are there in the same panel, and I'm honored to be there with them. And now, with a positive frame of mind, please join me, see what I can means how much I can convince you. I don't know. Please, if you can share my slides, or you want me to do that?
Yes, sir. It is ready.
Yeah. See, as Abrar has introduced me, I have nothing much here to say. I worked with Autonomous Research Center in India, in Coimbatore, SACON, and then moved to, after getting UNESCO Man and Biosphere Young Scientist Award, I did for 2 years with UNESCO and moved to Middle East. Now I'm with UAE government and Abu Dhabi Environment Agency. But most of the time my projects deal with IUCN, Mohammed bin Zayed Species Conservation Fund, where many of the international projects are funded. So I go for convention and MOUs that the country has signed. Next slide, please. What I do, what I exactly do, what a marine biologist exactly do. I'm not a marine biologist from the beginning. I became a biologist and then became marine biologist because I worked on coastal and marine habitats. But you can choose your field from this time onwards. Marine biologists are very lucky. They work from air, by helicopter or single, if Florida, Australia, any place you go in Japan and all these places in Middle East, Africa, most of the marine mammal, marine reptiles, marine megafauna research is done using either aircrafts or helicopters. Then you can work on surface of water. Many places you need boat, because in at sea you will have to be seaworthy and all this, that we'll discuss later. And then you'll have to work underwater also. Now question might come, oh, I don't want to go underwater, I'm scared of underwater world. I love to see it on the screen, but when it comes to me, then I'll escape from this. Those type of things also, now technology is helping you. You can sit on board of the boat and then do everything. Robots are available, ROVs are available, and all these things. So what are the technologies we are using? That means a marine biologist working in air, on the surface of water and underwater. So everywhere marine biologist can work. In addition to this, marine biologist can work in laboratory and offices also. So we use drones, we use aerial survey techniques, we use remotely operated vehicles like video arrays, drop cameras, satellite tags, hydrophones, and also we use satellite data and all these things to map our marine resources. Next slide, please.
On that note, Doctor, I also observed that your background is beautiful. So I really want every one of them to have a look at Dr. Das's background first. He has got the entire marine life behind him on his wall.
This is marine mammal dugong, and in my life, first time I saw marine mammal in Andaman Nicobar Islands. That is one of the most beautiful and pristine piece of biodiversity that India is proud of, and we must work to protect this area. And while working on seagrass ecosystems of Andaman and Nicobar 20 years back, that is where I got UNESCO Man and Biosphere Young Scientist Award, project for this seagrass study. I still have after retirement, I want to go back to Andaman to spend some time there. Um,
That's
let's go back
massive.
to marine biologist, what way we can contribute to green economy. Green economy is, for me, it is anything that is minimizing carbon footprint, anything that is sustainable, anything that is thinking of its people and its ecological limits, and anything that is thinking of society for the long term. So by what we are doing, by providing solution to low environmental risks, so we do not there are several sustainable use of resources. Now countries like Africa and Middle East, lots of development going on. Lots of mangroves are removed, seagrasses are raised, but there are marine biologists are giving solutions how to recreate, replant, and rehabilitate, restore all these habitats, and how easily it can be done, and how to avoid means like areas with high blue carbon content, and not to make resources as uh, deplete that so badly that carbon creation will happen, and then our means situation will be bad, and we will, instead of minimizing carbon, we will contribute to carbon issues in the ecosystem. So marine biologists contribute in many ways. Next slide, please. Um, why I love my work? Yes, there is diversity, as I told you, from air to surface of water to lab to underwater. Which area where you can get such type of variety, where you can get such even if you work on invertebrates or something in coastal areas, you are not going to deeper water, but still you are going to mangroves, you are going to tidal floods, you are going to salt marshes, you are going to seagrass areas, intertidal areas, collecting invertebrates, bringing it to lab, and those type of changes you see in natural ecosystem, and that gives you happiness. And then in addition to that, you get a good salary also for your living. It gives me opportunity to contribute to science and society, in the sense that we find something, we create our research brings out some solutions, brings out some restoration or some protocols or methods which will help us in many ways. So that is how you get satisfaction out of besides that, if you are giving training or taking PhD students, master students, or you be a team leader and then you develop your team, then you are actually creating a big skill, a group of people with skill where they can carry on with your work. It gives me respectable and competitive earning also. And besides that, the best thing that I get, I would have visited at least 58 countries by now. And those countries do not like I'm saying China, Japan or something. Timor-Leste, Madagascar, Mozambique, means Seychelles. So those type of countries where people usually don't go. Next slide, please.
So, Doctor, before that, I have received this question from Miss Aruna asking how depth you went to the sea or the ocean and what kind of changes you found in the ecosystem there.
No, my diving license allows me for 18 meters, but the area at which I work, Andamans, I was doing snorkeling. I didn't have diving license then. We were doing snorkeling. I didn't have a drop camera also. So I was working mostly in intertidal and up to 6 meters of water. But here I'm going up to 18 meters. That is what my party diving certificate allows me to. But problem is that currently in most of these countries, Asian countries, due to turbidity and high nutrient eutrophicated water and lots of turbidity in water, dust storms and pollution, you do not lights do not penetrate more than 15 to 20 meters. It's not like Australia or US water where light can penetrate up to 40 meters. Even in Philippines, I have seen Indonesia, 15, 18, 20 meters maximum it goes. And that is, I have gone up to 18 meters, but my preferred depth is 12 to 15 meters. And that is the place I see seagrasses, I see corals, I see turtles, I see dugongs, everything I am working on seen there. I'm not working on big, large whales like blue whale or something. I think Sri Lanka, one of our student, Asha, working on whales, is maybe 60 kilometers from Nagarcoil from India. That blue whale population there, big blue whale population you can see. The Sri Lankan people are working, but then they work from by using drone and this one. Nowadays, not many marine biologists diving deep water. We are using ROVs and video rays. We are using drop cameras. We are using other drones, underwater drones, above water drones, and that is how we collect our data.
So there is so much advancement now.
Yes, that
to
is
you.
why this fear of being a marine biologist or of sea and this one. Now I'll at the last slide I'll tell you artificial intelligence what Google is going to do. We are associated with a project, NASA project on biodiversity, where Google is associated, and they you sit at your home and count number of dugongs in your water.
Absolutely.
Next one,
And
please.
Doctor, because since you shared saying that it gives you an opportunity to contribute to science and society, let us talk a bit personal, which was asked by one of our participants today. In such a time demanding profession, is there time for you to focus on your hobbies and family?
Yeah. I think that I can't tell you. Family will tell whether I'm a but we give time. You'll have to balance it. There are many things. You are not the only one in the field. There are many people in this field, and but you feel happy, and family will also feel happy. With time, like in a younger age, Abrar, in your age, I will give less time to science and society, enjoy more. And when you reach above 50, when you cross above 50, then you consider, no, now it is to give to science and society. And this society has given us so much of opportunity and all this. We must give back something. Otherwise, there is no point in having such knowledge or exposure. Those things. It depends person to person, but I believe in that way. Please.
Well,
Next.
your answer was an emotional one. Thank you, Doctor.
Like you can be a scientist, teacher, you are a manager of a protected area, you can be an aquaculturist, and lots of jobs available. And even if you don't do a certain marine biology course, still you can come back to marine biology aspect of it. So there are options, multiple options. Now thinking, next slide, please. I'll go to, oh, no. Is it okay? I'll come later. If study comes, then I'll tell you. What are the skills and competencies you require? Next slide, please. Yes. Passion to study marine life and ecosystem. You should not get scared or worried about that. field and seaworthiness should be there. Your ability to work outdoor and laboratory must be there. Besides that, good observation and analytical skill is will help you. Teamwork, knowledge of local laws and regulation policies, understanding and interest to use new technologies, that will help. And project management is always a added advantage for you. Next slide, ma'am. Here comes, when you take the first step after +2, you go for science, arts, and commerce. Knowing that marine biology is science subject, but still I thought I'll put all three. All these three, if you are going, and still your background is business management or art or culture, or you join as in Indian Forest Service, Indian Administrative Service, even Indian Income Tax Service or something, or anywhere as a professor or something. Still, if you have interest in marine biology, you can have it as part-time profession, or you can have as part of citizen science. Citizen science is very popular nowadays. So what I want to tell you, if you want direct profession, the main profession, then go for science. But if you cannot go, you go to arts and commerce, still you can have this bent of mind to come back anytime in your life. And after biology, lots of jobs. These are all taken from different sources. You are very learned gathering, so you know about it. So all kinds of biological aspect you can also join after close to science. Next slide, please. And biology, physics, chemistry is a must for this. I would not say must, but that helps. And language is a very important thing many people avoid. But please understand, biology, any field of biology is a natural science. And communication is most important. I think nowadays communication is more important than research. And without communication, you are not going to be successful. So for proper communication, you should have some knowledge and, a comfortable level of language use, and, one or two or more local languages will help. Mathematics, why I have put red and in the center, because this is the real mantra. Mathematics, if you have, it will help you in analytical solutions or analysis of your data very easily and all this. If it is not, still you can manage. If it is there, it is well and good. Next one, please. And if you do not study biology, still you can be, if there is biophysics, biophysical theories and concepts, we are taking help of that. We are taking help of chemistry, chemists too much. Pharmacology, biochemistry, vets, they know how. Also, everything will be required for marine biology or marine species, marine habitat study. Computer science engineering, if you are going, please remember, most of the artificial intelligence is one, not only being used in industries and other places, they are used for wildlife and natural resources and medical sciences. So artificial intelligence, like currently that project of NASA and Google, it is going to use for monitoring of species. So you need not go to field. Now, if you are going to field, you will have to get some, sample locations only. Rest of the things, satellites will do that. So using artificial intelligence, they will find out where your animals are and what they are doing all through the year. So then database, IT, softwares, many apps, natural science apps, marine biology apps, for every species you have got apps and toolkits. Toolkits are so important. And these are all developed by computer science. Recently, our agency, I'm the focal point for that. There is a called conservation.tools. If you remember, conservation.tools, just open it, you will see how many 10,000 visitors still now. We developed a toolkit for dugong, seagrass, and community research. And all Southeast Asian countries are using this for their research and funding. And that was developed by Mahindra and our government of Abu Dhabi's technology department, outsourced to India. So we developed that taking help of engineers, IT specialists. So you can't, means they know now that when they come for revision of that software, they talk to us like a marine biologist, and they take so much of interest. I feel so happy. Young IT students talking to me in marine biology language, and I feel so happy talking to them and developing softwares with them. And mathematics, as I told, it is wonderful. It is a subject that will help you in a later stage and analysis, modeling, ecosystem modeling, and all these things. Next one, please, Abra. And this is the last slide. Personally, I have gone to the wildest and most beautiful places on earth. 1 year, I went to Alaska, came back, went to Scandinavia, then came back, went to Cape Town, then and in the month of December, I went to Dunedin in New Zealand. All four, the best places you can think of. They are all coastal areas, all marine areas, but in government money, I am traveling to these wild places. And we go to these places for work. You go meet many people there, different cultures, different nationalities. You enjoy your trip and all these things. All may not be successful like this, or field trips are not done. But if you work in lab also, you get to. So get to go to many places, training for interaction with people, different projects. And then I have worked with very shy and secretive species like dugongs, and also very scary species like sea snakes. So I have improved my skill of teamwork and developed several teams in different projects. And it is very important. I have learned from these young people with whom I have worked how to use technology, how to update my knowledge. Otherwise, we can't match, and it is very difficult to match young people like you. You are so good in electronics, and so good in understanding new technology, which we are not. So lucky to be working as a marine biologist, and lucky to be a researcher in this field. And job wise, don't look for government job only. Don't think, as Dr. Sonali said, 10x students applying means from how many, I don't know, maybe 1 in 100 getting IFS. So don't think that if you don't get and your life is gone. No, go for, there are hundreds of funding agencies available. There are so many. You can do freelance research. You can do. There are people working in Philippines, Indonesia, Sri Lanka. You can't imagine. Just NGOs working, doing wonderful jobs. Please go for your passion. Think if it is your field and you have interest for this. Just don't look back. Go ahead. And we have faced challenges in the beginning of our career. Now I don't repent for the decision I have taken. Thank you very much, Abrar. Sorry for taking so much of time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Das. And for the participants, you can see down in the picture our cheerful and confident doctor sharing something about, I guess, about the profession, of course.
This is in Sanya Island, China.
Wow, so nice. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much for joining today and inspiring, giving us such inspiration. And a lot of people have always been water babies, and I think now they can take it so seriously in the education part.